The first rays of the morning sun bathed the streets of Brooksville in a soft, golden hue as Officer Ryan Maddox adjusted his patrol car in the shade of a maple tree. It had been a quiet start to the day, the kind that lulled even the most vigilant officer into a sense of calm. But that peace was shattered the moment a call crackled through his radio. "Attention all units," the dispatcher said, voice clipped and urgent. "Be on the lookout for a silver sedan, license plate 3XJ482. Vehicle connected to an attempted robbery earlier this morning. Vehicle reported stolen. Last seen heading downtown." Ryan straightened immediately, adrenaline spiking. His eyes swept over the steady stream of traffic ahead, scanning, assessing. Brooksville wasn't a big city, but the downtown area could get congested during morning hours, and a stolen car mixed in with commuters could be hard to spot. Yet, almost as if fate had scripted it, a silver sedan appeared, gliding toward an intersection just 2 blocks away. Ryan leaned forward, squinting at the plates. It was almost an exact match. Without hesitation, he flipped on his lights, pulling into the flow of traffic behind the car. His heart pounded in his ears as he motioned for the vehicle to pull over. The driver complied immediately, easing the sedan onto the curb with a practiced calm that sent a small flicker of doubt through Ryan's mind. Criminals usually panicked or fled. This driver seemed almost annoyed. Ryan stepped out, hand resting on his holster. The window of the sedan lowered with a hum. Behind the wheel sat a woman, probably in her early 50s, dressed in a sharp, dark business suit. She furrowed her brow at him, a flash of irritation crossing her features. "Good morning, officer," she said, her voice clipped but polite. Ryan barely registered her greeting. Training took over. "Is this your vehicle, ma'am?" he asked, voice low and commanding. "Of course it is," she replied, her eyes narrowing slightly. "I'm on my way to work. May I ask why I've been stopped?" "Registration and license, please," Ryan demanded. With an exasperated sigh, the woman reached into her bag. Ryan tensed, every nerve on high alert. "Can I at least understand what this is about?" she asked, handing him her documents. "This vehicle is connected to a criminal investigation and reported stolen," he said sharply. "I'm going to need you to exit the vehicle with your hands visible." The woman blinked, stunned. "That's absurd. I haven't done anything wrong. This is my car." Ryan wasn't interested in arguments. He yanked open the door. When she hesitated, he grabbed her arm and pulled her out roughly, turning her around and snapping handcuffs on her wrists. "You are under arrest for grand theft auto," he said in a clipped tone. For a moment, she stared at him, disbelief flooding her features. Then she spoke, voice steady but cold. "Officer, do you have any idea who I am?" "I don't care who you are," Ryan barked. "You're coming with me." Her lips curved into a bitter smile. "I'm Judge Marlene Whitaker, and you have just made the biggest mistake of your professional life." Ryan scoffed. "Yeah, sure. And I'm the president. Let's go." He pushed her into the back of his squad car and slammed the door shut harder than necessary. After securing her inside, he grabbed his radio and called for backup, requesting verification and support. Within minutes, Sergeant Alan Brooks arrived at the scene, his cruiser pulling up with a sharp screech. Brooks climbed out, eyeing the silver sedan. "Turner," he called using Ryan's last name. "What's the situation?" Ryan approached confidently. Suspect was resisting. "We took her into custody. Vehicle matches the description given, silver sedan, similar plates." Brooks frowned, stepping toward the squad car. He peered in the back window and froze. Ryan frowned. "What's wrong, Sarge?" Brooks turned slowly, his face a mask of disbelief. "Is that Judge Whitaker?" Ryan blinked. "Who?" Brooks exhaled heavily, dragging a hand down his face. "Judge Marlene Whitaker. She's one of the senior judges for this district. She oversees half the major cases that go through our courts." A sick feeling coiled in Ryan's gut. Brooks didn't wait. He moved to the squad car, opening the door and offering his hand to the woman inside. "I sincerely apologize, Your Honor," Brooks said, his voice filled with genuine regret. "This is a terrible misunderstanding." Judge Whitaker stepped out slowly, rubbing her wrist where the cuffs had been. Her face was unreadable, her composure impeccable, but her eyes burned with restrained fury. I was humiliated, ignored, and treated like a common criminal by your officer, she said coolly. This is not a misunderstanding. It is a violation. Ryan fumbled with his keys, tried to unlock the cuffs quickly but clumsily. Brooks shot him a fierce glare, a silent order to move faster. Finally, the cuffs clicked open and fell away. I assure you, Brooks said, standing stiffly. This will be addressed immediately. Your Honor, please allow us to. I'll be addressing it myself. Whitaker interrupted sharply, adjusting her jacket. Today, with the police chief. She gathered her things from the squad car's seat with precise movements, every action speaking volumes about her self-control. Without another word, she climbed back into her sedan and drove away, leaving behind only a heavy, oppressive silence. Ryan stood there, frozen, the gravity of what had just happened sinking into his bones. Brooks shook his head slowly. Turner, he said grimly, you better start preparing yourself. You're not walking away from this. Ryan nodded stiffly, swallowing hard against the lump rising in his throat. He stared down the road where Judge Whitaker's car had vanished, knowing that the life he had built, the career he had dreamed off, might have just crumbled in a single, devastating moment. It wasn't about intention anymore. It was about perception, about respect, about power. And Ryan Maddox had just disrespected one of the most powerful figures in Brooksville without cause. The day that had started with the promise of a quiet shift would now be remembered as the day his entire career veered off a cliff, perhaps permanently. He closed his eyes briefly, drew a slow breath, and faced the consequences that were surely already on their way.